Okay. Okay, and we are recording. So I'll start with just introducing Mr. Jay Lewis, who'll give just a quick intro. So whenever you're ready, Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to have you with us this evening. I see over 100 parents at the moment and climbing. I think the one thing that I'd like to just suggest is so important about this evening is that one of the greatest things of many things about Schreiber High School is the array of choices that your students will have once they enter the doors of Schreiber. We know that a lot of conversations have occurred at Weber about course choices for this coming year. And that's sort of the beginning of that big process of winnowing out where students want to make their first stands from a curriculum standpoint, particularly in addition to the required academic courses and required other courses that they need to take. I think it's important to say that if anybody made choices at Weber over the last couple of months, and as a result of tonight's excellent presentations by our guests who are on screen, then any changes that students would like to make should be registered with their guidance counselor at Weber, and we will update our course requests accordingly. Not only are courses a wonderful choice, but the number of co-curricular activities and interscholastic athletics and special other opportunities for immersing yourself in our school community are huge. And we encourage parents to explore those possibilities on the website and in conversations with us at Schreiber. And as a result of that, we are confident that your children will flourish and will go the way of so many thousands of Schreiber graduates on to bigger and better things after your children leave our walls. But we're very proud to be hosting this first in a series of several orientations, and we hope you will find it very useful. And I guess the most important thing is conversational starters about your child's upcoming experiences at Schreiber. So welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lewis. So I'm just going to share my screen now. We have a presentation for all of you tonight. Okay. There we go. Okay. So first is our brief introductions. Next, we'll have some information from our HSA co-presidents. Well, I think just Kathy is here tonight, but we have two co-presidents, Adrian Kane and Kathy Riva. I'll be speaking a little bit about the freshman experience at Schreiber, and then we'll move on to elective presentation as well as academic department presentations. So just a little bit of information. I'm the assistant principal who's right now overseeing the senior class, and I'll be moving on to working with the freshmen next year. So I'm happy to have a new group of students. Just to touch on a few basic things about the school day and, just about the ways and routines of Schreiber High School, based on a few questions that I received from the HSA actually prior to this meeting. The school day begins at 8:05 in the morning. Students are required to be at school if they have classes in session. One thing that we have that is a little bit unique to other buildings is that if a student doesn't have class scheduled for a particular period, they do have free time in which they could spend at the library or the student commons or maybe working with the teacher or in the writing lab. students they seem very welcome to the open time when they don't have classes scheduled, because it does allow them to learn some management skills when it comes to taking care of assignments on off periods. So most students welcome the free periods. However, there is obviously a lot of elective options for students to engage with to ensure a packed schedule. With regard to discipline, every assistant principal, we try to stay as aligned as possible with our disciplinary practices. We expect that any chance we could possibly integrate counseling into our practices, we do so. We focus a lot on preparedness for our kids, and that, you know, when they're leaving high school, that they're ready on the social and emotional level as well as the academic level. So our practices are that of keeping parents informed and really, you know, staying on top of the kids in terms of having them acclimate to the new high school routines and really helping them, you know, learn the ways as quickly as possible and supporting them through it. There were some questions about lockers. We do have lockers now. There was, you know, during the pandemic, there was a time when we weren't issuing lockers, but now they are available to students. It depends on how the rest of the school year goes / the summer, but what we have done this school year was it was on request, but we do actually expect the freshmen to want lockers more so than maybe the seniors do. So the lockers are open to whichever freshmen want to have lockers. And we do anticipate having an event later in the summer in which our incoming freshmen are invited in and they can, you know, see their lockers, and it's a good social time for them to get acclimated with their classmates. Also in my responsibilities as assistant principal, I do oversee clubs and activities. We have a wide array of clubs that are available for students to become involved in. And I urge parents, students alike to get as involved as possible, take advantage of this, and really explore interests as much as possible. Students are empowered to even start their own clubs if there isn't an offering that they're interested in, which I find kind of difficult to believe because there are an eclectic mix of clubs and activities that are the students have access to. If you check our website, on the Schreiber site itself, there is a tab on the main page that has a link to clubs and activities. And there's a lot of detail in terms of what the clubs do, when they meet, and who the advisors are. So if any incoming freshmen want to take a look, they could find, you know, a pretty comprehensive list of all the clubs that are available. And with regard to social issues and academic issues, I also urge students to meet up with their counselors as often as possible, try to get a sense of, you know, what their direction is for the future and how they could align their time spent at Schreiber with, you know, their goals for the future. We have some really wonderful counselors, some wonderful social workers and psychologists in the building as well, who are there to help support students through it all. If there are any questions at all, I'm happy to, you know, if you want to send an email, you could always send an email to me, or if you wanted to ask a question through the HSA, then you're welcome to as well. Okay, and now I'd like to introduce Kathy Riva, HSA president.
Thanks, Kristen. Hi, everybody. So listen, the HSA's role is really just simple. We're the communications between the parents and the school. So if you have any pressing questions, or if you have any insightful comments that you need answered and you're having trouble figuring out where to go or how to find it, we're the resource that helps you. And Adrienne Kane is going to be your senior co-president next year, and she's amazing. And we do a lot of things. We give scholarship money. We donate to those clubs Kristen was just talking about, and we also contribute to any big ideas that the Compact Committee may come up with, which is the social kind of community aspect of the HSA. So we also host parent coffees, which hopefully the new principal incoming in September will also continue. Those are usually twice a month. And then we also have 4 HSA meetings throughout the course of the year. So there's an ample amount of opportunity for us to get to know each other. And we cannot wait to have you here. And then the next slide, and if you want to email us, we're schreiberhsa@gmail.com. And then the next slide is our website. So here's the thing about Schreiber that I love. They're working on the district website, so that's always a great resource. But if you need the holiday calendar, like someone just asked when school starts, September 1st, and it's a Thursday this year. You can find it on this place. This is your one-stop hub for communication. Everything's here. You need the sports schedule. You need the A to F, which is like the 6-day letter schedule. It's here. Everything is super easy to find. It's condensed in one place. It's schreiberhsa.org. We will be sending you a lot of information over the summer. We want you to join. The only way we're able to continue helping support our students and helping them thrive is through your $25 donation, which we will ask you to do and to register for. If you already are in the Weber system or any of the other elementary school systems that use Membership Toolkit, it's really easy to just switch your account and add Schreiber. So if you do the next screen, so this is a website hack. This is so easy. If you already are registered on a Membership Toolkit site, this summer when we send you an invitation to join Schreiber's site, this is the website you can download from Membership Toolkit onto your phone. So you have a pocket of information, what the holiday schedule is, what vacation schedule is, what the sports schedule is, what the theater schedule is. It's all going to be easily accessible if you download the app. And then you can just toggle between Weber, Schreiber, and any of the other district elementary schools. We're all on the same platform. So I'll wrap it up by just saying I have a ninth grader, and I was in your shoes last year, and Schreiber seems really intimidating. And I just want to put your mind at ease that my daughter loves it. She's beyond thrilled, and she likes the freedom. The A through F schedule was really confusing for me. She picked it up in a week. She knows her schedule. She's more independent than I've ever dreamed she could be. So I just want to say thank you, Kristen, to your staff and all the teachers who really give us the support. It's an amazing place. You can't go wrong, parents. So enjoy and reach out to the Schreiber HSA if you need anything.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, next up is our elective area presentation, beginning with art. This is Mr. Kevin Scully, the Director of Performing Arts and Fine Arts.
Director of Creative Arts, Kevin Scully, so that's okay. So interesting title. So many of you know me from elementary and middle school, although a little less lately because of, we've had a little less events, but we're back and we're rolling, it's great. So there's a few slides here. I'm really just gonna be really general with my presentation and just let you know that it's really, a lot of it is a continuation of what the students have done in elementary and middle school. Next slide, please. So in ninth grade, the students will take a foundations course. High school art electives begin with one required foundations course. Foundations can include foundations of studio art, drawing and design for production, and creative crafts. They can also substitute clothing and textiles plus housing and environment core to fulfill one of the one credit arts requirement, and you'll hear about that a little bit later. And students who are taking foundations in studio art at Weber can take drawing and painting or other art electives, and those are in the program planning guide. Next slide. So again, most of this is just for your information in future years, but if you take a quick glance, you see just the diversity of courses we have, and we're always updating and animating, or updating and adding to these art courses. So for instance, movie making and animation used to just be called TV studio, but we're trying to keep up with the times. So that's something that's changed. We added senior experience in the art a couple of years ago as well. Next slide. We really look at a holistic view of art at Schreiber High School. So in addition to the foundations courses, students can then just go on and do something, if they're really a painter, they could just stay in that line. For example, studio art, then drawing and painting, advanced painting, and then AP studio art. Or there can be other paths. It's really flexible. We really enjoy the courses. Next, please. So even though it's only required for ninth graders, and it's either music or art actually, we still have over 850 students enrolled in our high school elective visual arts and media arts courses. Next slide. It's a great program. These are just some select honors that we've had in the past few years, but it's really phenomenal program. We also have one of the highest AP enrollments in New York State in our art courses, and actually we're adding more and more AP art courses each year. Next slide. High school music, also really similar to the middle school. Most students will progress from band, chorus, or orchestra to the music program, but we also have some other electives. Next slide. Same thing, the foundations courses are a little more obvious. Like I said, they're usually freshman band, freshman chorus, or freshman orchestra, but students can also take music in our lives. Occasionally we'll have a student take music theory and songwriting as their foundations course. Next slide. We have many ensembles, mixed choir, symphonic band, string orchestra, and then we also have music theory and songwriting, AP music theory, sound engineering, and music improvisation. Again, we're always looking at those courses and trying to keep them up to date. Next slide. We have over 2,000 students enrolled in elective music ensembles in the district, not in the high school. There's only 1,600 students in the high school, but we do like to point out that that our students' enrollment in these ensembles is phenomenal. People love the district music program, and we hope that your students will continue. Next slide. Again, some more accolades. We're 7th straight year as one of the best communities for music education in the United States, and hopefully soon, I was hoping before this presentation that 2022 would be up there, but hopefully we'll find out in the next couple of weeks. Next slide. And we also take field trips, fingers crossed. We definitely already started taking field trips locally, and we're hoping to also travel with our art and music programs in the future, out of state, and who knows, maybe even out of the country. Next slide. Okay. Thank you so much, and I'll now turn it over to Family and Consumer Sciences.
Thank you, Mr. Scully. Thank you, Mr. Scully. Next up is Robin Block and Margaret Rizzo to talk about that.
Hi, I'm Margaret Rizzo. And I'm Robin Block, and we're very excited to welcome your children to high school next year. We're the Family and Consumer Sciences teachers known as FACS here at the high school. Any of your children have to take back for the so taking classes with us would be a great way to take their knowledge to the next level. So tax class, like a word, they do a little bit of each topic in each course. Our courses are specialized according to students. So we have some photos for you of our students in action. So you can see some of what goes on in our classes. First, 2 courses that many ninth graders take, as Mr. Scully mentioned. Is housing environment and clothing and textiles. So the next step, please. So the clothing class focuses both fashion and sewing. The students study elements and principles related to male and female fashion, explore fashion history, develop both hand and machine sewing skills, and eventually complete a final sewing project. Actually, it's housing environment students practice personal budgeting, the pros and cons of housing choice priorities, also elements and principles of design to exterior design concepts.
I'm sorry to interject.
Environmentally friendly construction options, eventually buildable models.
Robin, I'm sorry to interject. It's just that you're lagging.
Also some pictures of the sewing project. This one has a couple of the interior design projects, and these are mostly ninth graders due to the art credit. while upperclassmen do sometimes enroll due to, you know, things. I think the next slide has more photos, please.
Robin, I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a lot of lagging. I don't know if it's your internet connection, but we can't really understand what you're saying. I don't know if Ms. Rizzo, if you want to take over.
Bring all the pictures, sorry.
Yeah.
So students often in the same class, they can choose stuffed animals, they can choose clothing. We have gym bags, we have sports balls, all kinds of different projects that they can choose based on their interests. We also do this. Oh. Oh, I'm not seeing the picture coming in either. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Here, can you hear me?
Okay, sorry. You can take over.
No, that's okay. So essentially, to sum up, as ninth graders,
Ms. Rizzo, are you going to take over?
I'm just going to summarize because you were lagging, I think, pretty much the whole time. So am I okay? Am I lagging?
Yeah,
no.
We could hear you.
Okay, so in ninth grade, your children can take, I'm okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, in ninth grade, your children can take clothing and textiles and housing and environment, and this meets the fine arts requirement that Kevin Scully was speaking about earlier. So it includes sewing and interior design and so much more. We also offer 4 food classes. Our first one is our newest, which is creative cuisine. And that allows students to prepare a wide variety of dishes, as well as practicing food styling and plating and garnishing, and basically everything they need to make their food Insta-worthy. We also do culture and foods, where you get to try foods all around the world. We take culinary stops in Italy, you know, Spain, South America, Central America, as well as learning about the cultures of all these different places. We also offer Bake Shop, where you get to do a variety of fondant work, cupcake wars, pastries, bagels, pretzels, and so much more. Our final foods class is foods and nutrition, and essentially in foods and nutrition, we learn about seasonal eating and how to eat on the healthier side. It's a great course where the students get to also learn basic cooking, cleaning, and entertaining skills. All of our foods classes include Food Network style competitions, which activate students' research and marketing skills, in addition to their culinary talents. These classes also encourage teamwork and communication skills, and we plan on offering 2 options alternating every other year. And then if you could advance to the next slide, please. I'll talk about human development real quick.
Sorry, there's just more pictures.
Yeah, we have a bunch. We do a lot of food. We love our food here. And finally, when your children are in 10th through 12th grade, they can take human development. And in human development, you learn about child development from conception through about age 10. They also get to intern down at the Daily Pre-K Elementary School. This is just a really great class if your children want to get that hands-on experience and see what it's like working with children pretty much every day. In summary, all of our courses not only allow students to experience hands-on learning in high-interest courses, but they also get to practice important research and academic skills. So please feel free to check out our website on the Schreiber homepage. And thanks so much for joining us tonight. We really look forward to meeting you and your children in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rizzo, Mrs. Block. Next up, we have Ms. Erickson, who will be presenting for the business department.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mrs. Erickson, Kaylin Erickson. I put up my email, and our other business teacher, Mrs. Herber, that's her email as well. If at the end of the presentation or later tonight you think of a question, please feel free to email me. Next slide, please. So why take a business course? There's so many reasons. We learn about management, entrepreneurship, sales, ownership. We have competitions. If you take virtual enterprise, we're always working on networking skills and real world skills. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to show all the business classes that we offer at Schreiber, just so you can get an idea of what kind of pathway you could take, your child could take in their future. So currently we only offer the computer classes to our 9th graders, but I'll talk a little bit about the other courses. So we have computer skills, that's okay, college and careers. And that's a basic, oh, yeah, it's all on one slide. So that course teaches different business skills, but with a focus on Microsoft as well as the Google Suite. So we cover both of those softwares. And then I think it's the slide before this. Yeah, that one. And then we offer a Microsoft certification and advanced Microsoft certification. So Microsoft certification is just Microsoft Word. So your child would focus on just that software. And then if they want, they could move on to advanced Microsoft certification, which includes Excel and PowerPoint. You don't have to take Microsoft certification in order to take advanced. We just call it advanced because it covers 2 softwares, so Excel and PowerPoint. And at the end of each of these courses, they have the ability to take a nationally certified, a national exam where they would be certified in Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. They don't have to, it's not mandatory, but I always recommend taking the test at the end of the class because it's a great thing to have on your resume. At different professional developments, when I'm talking to employers, they're always looking for these types of certifications. So I would highly recommend taking the exam at the end of the course. Moving forward, I recommend after 9th grade and 10th grade taking accounting. And that's what my 9th graders this year, they're currently on that pathway. So they've taken Microsoft certification and advanced. And then next year they're moving on to accounting. And then they can decide if they want to go into marketing or maybe focus on, if they really like accounting, they can move on to college accounting honors in their junior or senior year, or take virtual enterprise or business law. And we do offer a Wall Street portfolio management course, and that's sophomore through senior year. So they have the option to take multiple courses and they can create their own pathway after 9th grade. But I suggest starting off with the computer course and then deciding what they want to do after that. So if you have any questions, my email again is kerickson@portnet.org. Please email me if you think of a question later on. And I look forward to meeting your children next year.
Thank you, Ms. Erickson.
Thank you.
Next up, we have technology. So we have a video. If you just give me 1 second.
Courses available for the freshmen. The first course available is Design and Drawing for Production. It is a tech/art course. The way the state has designed the course, it is usually taught by the art teachers here. So not sure exactly how they cover some of these materials, but they should be learning about orthographic projections, isometric drawings, perspectives, construction drafting, mechanical tools, computer-aided drafting, and a whole other range. So the idea is they kind of design and draw those pieces that they will then produce. And DDP is considered a foundation course for a lot of the other tech courses that they may take in the future. 2 other tech courses available to students in the 9th grade are drones and avionics. And the networking computer repair course. They're both semester courses. The drones course, students are going to fly drones manually and autonomously. Basically, autonomous is they're going to create little programs for those phones to to fly, sorry. And they're going to learn some basic avionic principles and the FAA guidelines for flying drones. They're not going to, be tested on it per se, but they're going to get some exposure to those types of items. In the network and computer repair, we're going to look inside the computers a little bit. We don't tear them apart too much because we do need the computers to make the networks that we work on in class, but they're going to build small little networks, install operating systems like Windows and Linux-based operating systems to take a look at that. And again, we kind of create small networks within the classroom. I'm just going to show you a little information about technology classes they could take in the upper grades, but I know you're focusing on ninth grade, so we're not going to focus too much on these, but these are the topics they can work on: automotive technology, architecture, woodworking, and engineering sciences. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Fred Feldman. Feldman with 2 F's and 2 N's at portnet.org is the email address, and 516-767-5915 is the phone number. Please leave me a message either way if you have questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay. That was from Mr. Feldman. Just bear with me 1 second while I switch over. Okay. Sorry, just a few screens at the same time. Okay. Okay. So next we're moving on to our department presentation. So those will be videos that have been presented by our social studies, English, math, world language, and science department. So moving on to social studies, here's the contact information for Mr. Schultz, who is our chairperson of the social studies department, and he will present a short video.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Schultz. I'm the Social Studies Department Chair here at Schreiber High School. And welcome to all our incoming freshmen and parents. It's nice to see you all, virtually or otherwise. I'm going to take a few minutes and take you through the Social Studies Department. I'm going to particularly focus on ninth grade.
I apologize.
I'll give you a quick rundown of what we offer. Complete if they wish to receive honor. First off, the actual course, Global History and Geography 1, starts at the dawn of civilization and goes all the way to the first global age, which is more or less the year 1750. They picked the year 1750 because nothing happened that year, and it's kind of New York State's little way of avoiding any kind of cultural bias. And about the year 1750, the Industrial Revolution starts. So it's their way of kind of dividing the course in two, between the pre-global industrial world and the industrial world. You look at all aspects of culture, civilization, spread of religion, ideas, technology, interactions between groups. It takes a very global perspective, and we see that ideas rarely rose only in one area, not in another. Ideas were shared back and forth, sometimes peacefully, sometimes violently, and everything in between. There is a 9th grade honors project, as I mentioned before, and it involves reading historiographies and writing critical analyses on them. It's a year-long credit, and if you complete it satisfactory to all parties involved, you do receive honors credit. There are electives for 9th graders. They are limited compared to our other years, but students can take Introduction to STEM, which is a really cool course that introduces them to science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We do the social science component. Every quarter, the student goes to a different teacher. So there's a science teacher, then there's the math teacher, then there's the technology teacher, and then there's the social science teachers. And they learn about things like experimentation, psychology, sociology, etc. Also, we are pleased to introduce 2 new revamped courses under our communications wing of our social sciences, Radio and Podcasting 1 and Radio and Podcasting 2. They are connected courses that follow one another. And it lets you use our state-of-the-art equipment we have here at Schreiber, a whole radio room, to make and record and distribute your own podcasts on any topic of your choosing. We tend to focus on community-based issues and encourage people to have local guests on and things like that. So it's a real community building activity. For those of you who are wondering, we have the most AP courses in the building, and very proud of that. We have 8 courses here that start in 10th grade and go all the way through 12th grade. I won't go through all of them right now because your kids are just going to be freshmen. But just know that we have a robust advanced level course offering starting in 10th grade. Also, while this also starts in 10th grade and goes through 12th grade, the selection process does begin midway through 9th grade. Social Science Research Program, which is a highly exclusive and intense program. It's a 3-year commitment. You take part in major activities, the biggest one being the Regeneron Science Talent Search, as well as LICEF, NICEF, ICEF, International Science Fair, Concord Review, JSHS, JFK, Profiles in Courage, etc. We offer many, many different research opportunities. Only 10 students are chosen per grade, and there's an exam they have to take midway through 9th grade. Then there's a writing sample, then they get interviewed. And if they meet all those processes and they want us and we want them, then we can select our 10. There's also math and science research as well, but those are in the other departments. So it's a big program and it's very select and elite, but I just want to make you aware that your kids could begin to think about it as the 9th grade year progresses. And finally, here are our other electives we offer grades 10 through 12. Again, I won't go into them in great detail here, but we have a lot and we're very proud of our elective courses, and we encourage everyone to sign up and take as much social sciences as they like. All right, well, it was my pleasure to talk to you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I wish you good luck and your children good luck. I'll see them soon. Bye.
Okay, so next up we have the English department video.
Good evening and welcome to the English portion of tonight's orientation. My name is Eileen Mills and I'm the English department chairperson. Tonight, I'll share with you just a little bit of information that will be helpful to both you and your child as they begin to navigate their new lives at Schreiber High School. So here's a little bit of information about the English department. So freshman English is really about focusing on the 4 types of literature that students have probably already experienced, but we do cover all 4 types of literature throughout the course of the school year. They study the short story, the novel, poetry, and the drama. Some of the works that we will be exploring with your kids are works that you maybe read when you were in high school, classic works of literature. But we also sprinkle in more modern voices, more diverse voices throughout the school year to fill in the gaps of their experience, to provide both windows and mirrors for students as they explore literature with us at the high school. The primary focus of freshman year is teaching kids how to become active listeners, how to engage in discussion, not only with their teachers, but with their peers. So discussion skills are a big part of our program. We focus a lot on close reading and annotation so that kids become more appreciative of the choices that writers make as they create their art. Our writing program is also a primary focus of freshman English. We begin the school year by introducing students to the literary analysis paragraph. This is a paragraph that requires students to use analytical verbs and to learn how to integrate quotes into their writing in ways that seem seamless and effortless. And so even though that seems like a pretty easy task, it's actually quite challenging for our students to gain the skills needed to write a cohesive, powerful, and forceful literary analysis paragraph. We work on this from about September to the end of November, December. And by that time, I think that students really start to own their learning and writing and really master these skills. And so that is when we begin to move our focus into the literary analysis essay, where they write 5 to 7 paragraphs about a piece of literature. And so our program really focuses on both of those types of writing. We work as a team at the freshman level, and so we will all be using the same language to identify the skills that students need to learn. For students who are looking to add more rigor to their English program, we do offer an honors program. This begins second quarter. So any student earning an A in English will be invited to participate in this program. And very basically, this program is one in which students read 4 additional texts along with their mentor, who is their teacher, discuss them in small groups, and create writing assignments that allow students to demonstrate the skills that they're learning in their regular English class, but in a more independent way. And so this is a program where we teach children to become independent readers and thinkers, to learn how to make meetings with their teachers, and to become a little bit more independent in the way that they approach the study of literature. For students who need extra support in English, we have a reading program. General English classes meet 4 out of every 6 days in the cycle. The reading program adds 2 days. So essentially, students in our reading program will have English every day. This is a program that we call Academic Intervention Service, but the way that we think about the program is as a support program for their English class. So the work that they're doing in their English class will be supported through our reading program. Each student gets individualized attention from the reading teacher, where they're able to work on the assignments that they're struggling with in their regular English classes. It is a 3-year program, but we find that generally students are able to exit the program after their 1st or 2nd year and able to achieve success in their English classes independently. And then finally, we have a writing center, which is at a new location this year, adjacent to the English office. Students are able to come in here to work on their writing anytime, every day during lunch periods. So 3-1, 3-2, 4-1, 4X, and 4-2. All of which you will understand in September. And it's just a walk-in, and they are, the writing center is staffed by a teacher as well as student volunteers who've been trained. And they work with students every day on various types of writing, English classes, social studies classes, and any other classes where they might need extra support or just an extra set of eyes on their writing. So that's it for me for tonight. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out via email. Once again, my name is Eileen Mills,
And I hope that you enjoy the rest of tonight's program.
Okay, that was Eileen Mills from the English department. And moving forward to math, Dr. Brian Gorman.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. A warm welcome to all the parents and incoming freshmen. I'm Dr. Brian Gorman. I'm the mathematics chairperson at Schreiber High School. Those of us that are new to Schreiber High School, we do offer a modified block schedule, which means we run on a 6-day schedule, letter days A through F, and every class is 1 hour long. We do offer a few variety of courses for all entering freshmen that range from Algebra 1, Algebra 1 6-day, Geometry, Math 9 Honors, and Introduction to STEM. In addition, every day we do offer Math Extra Help, period 3-1, in the Math Resource Room. Attached is the Math Program Planning Guide for 2022. Also is the link for the entire Freshman Program Planning Guide. Each course is unique to itself. Essentially, the 6-day course offers a built-in model for extra support for students that need. The Introduction to STEM course is an elective that focuses on STEM topics. The Geometry and the Math 9 Honors courses, those are eligible for students that are currently enrolled in Math 8A, and based on recommendations by their teachers, that's the course selection they will have. New York State has 3 different diploma criteria: our general New York State Regents diploma, our diploma with advanced designation, and lastly, our diploma with advanced designation with honors. We do also offer additional course offerings, courses such as Algebra 1 Flick, which is the freshman learning community, an Algebra 1 co-teaching course, and Algebra 1 Steps, which is Success Through Education Alternatives and Personal Initiative and Social Support. For information about these courses, you can contact your guidance counselor or me in the mathematics department. As we transitioned into the Algebra 1 Common Core, the test was based on 5 level indicators based on student performance. The 5 levels are outlined below. Lastly, we have our pathways to graduation, our math flowchart that shows the different course offerings depending on the course that students started. I want to thank you, and for any additional questions and concerns, please either email me at bgorman@portnet.org or reach me by phone at 767-5951. I look forward to all the incoming freshmen next year. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have World Language Department, Ms. Ferrante.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Department of World Languages. Hola, hello, bonjour, hola, ciao, allo, welcome. Okay, welcome, and I hope that you've had a wonderful time up until this point, and you've learned a lot of great things about our school. So let's go into our World Language Department. So my name is Mrs. Ferrante, and I am the department chair. My email address is cferrante@portnet.org, and please feel free to email me with any questions that you might have regarding your child's language placement or any other questions that you might have based on language. Okay, so the majority of our students are coming from Weber, unless you're coming from a different school. I don't think you would be here this evening. However, at Weber, most students have studied a particular language all 3 years. So when they enter Schreiber, they will have completed French 8, Italian 8, Latin 8, or Spanish 8. Upon which, when they enter, they will all be placed into a level 2 class, provided that they did well and they passed, right? The the first level, okay, which would be level 8. I know it doesn't make too much sense, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. So anyway, if you take a look at the screen, French 8 goes directly into French 2, Italian 8, Italian 2, Latin 8 goes into Latin 2. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no other way, okay, that there could be a different transition. So if we take a look at Spanish 8 has 3 different tracks. We have Spanish 2A and Spanish 2B, for which students are recommended by their teachers. So Spanish 2A is based on a student's ability. And if they're doing well in language, if language comes easy for them, okay, their teacher will most likely have placed them in Spanish 2A. Spanish 2B is generally for the student who might have a little bit more trouble with language, that needs a little bit more time in grasping the concepts of language or studying vocabulary. So those students we place in Spanish 2B. We take a look at the bottom one, which is intensive Spanish 2 and 3. Those are generally for students who are heritage speakers of Spanish. So they hear Spanish at home, they might speak Spanish, so they already know the mechanics of the language, but they might not have ever studied the language formally. These students are placed in this particular class based on their results of a qualifying exam. So that's the different tracks we have of Spanish, Spanish 2A, Spanish 2B, intensive Spanish 2 and 3. Please note that at level 2, there are no honors courses, okay? The difference between 2A and 2B is that they just move at a quicker pace, okay? 2B, if we could continue, 2B also takes an additional year to get up to the FLAX exam. And we'll explain more about the FLAX exam on the next page. So Weber language study consists of grades 6, 7, and 8. And those 3 levels comprise level 1 of language study, at the end of which students will take the FLAX A exam. Schreiber, okay, when they enter, they will be in level 2 of the language that they were studying initially. And at the end of the following year, that is the end of sophomore year, okay, they will take the FLAX B, okay, in that level 3. So the difference with the 2B, as we were talking about before, they move a little slower. Those 2B students that enter and they go into a 2B class, they will not take the FLAX B exam at the end of sophomore year. They'll have an extra year, okay, to move up to that FLAX B level, okay? So they have like a little bit more time to practice reading, to practice speaking, to learn new vocabulary, so on and so forth. So I'm sure at this point, a lot of you are saying, what is FLAX? What is FLAX A? What is FLAX B? We know that they're exams, but what are they actually? So the word FLAX actually is an acronym that stands for the Foreign Language Association of Chairpersons and Supervisors. So this exam came into existence, or these 2 exams, once New York State had done away with the language regions exam. And I believe that was back in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure. It could have been 2012, maybe a little bit earlier, 2011. So basically, there were some economic difficulties that the state was facing. So to eliminate some exams, they took away of the foreign language exams because they had to offer an exam in each and every language. So in addition to the languages that are studied typically in school, they also had one for Greek. They had one for Hebrew. They had one for Arabic. They had one for all of the languages possible that you could think of. And that really cost a lot of money. So once they came under those dire straits, they decided to do away with those exams. So the FLAX organization, they decided to be competitive still. So they started to devise exams that were comparable to those of the proficiency and the Regents exams. So although these exams are not listed on the calendar with the other Regents exams, the state has reserved the 3rd Monday in June for their administration. So typically the 3rd Monday in June is when you will have the FLAX A exam in the morning and the FLAX B exam in the afternoon. Another good thing about this is that students who take the FLAX B exam and pass are eligible to receive an advanced Regents diploma, as long as they meet all of the other requirements that are necessary. So I hope that I have shed some light on perhaps some questions that you might have had regarding language, the language tracks that we offer here at Schreiber for freshmen as soon as they come in. And of course, these FLAX exams. Okay, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to call me, okay, at 767-5945 at the office, or please email me and I will happily get back to you and answer any questions that you have. Okay, so it's been a pleasure talking to you this evening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the orientation. Good night. I look forward to seeing you and your children here next year. Bye-bye.
Okay, and next we have Science Department.
Good evening and welcome to Schreiber High School. My name is Mr. Crivelli. I am the Science Department Chair at Schreiber High School. I have been for the past 25 years. I'd like to share with you this evening some of the expectations for 9th grade. In the 9th grade, all incoming freshmen will take biology, either Regents biology or honors biology. Generally speaking, if you are currently in Regents Earth Science and score 85 or higher in the matrix, you will be invited to honors biology. If you are in Science 8 or score below 85 on the matrix, then you should take Regents biology. Let me talk to you a little bit about the Regents biology class. This course follows the NYSED curriculum and beyond. They will take a living environment Regents at the end of the year in June. Topics included are cell biology, biochemistry, energy transformation, genetics, evolution, ecology, and all of the human body systems. The Regents course at Schreiber is challenging. Lab requirements are a New York State mandate in order to sit for the Regents exam. Students must sit for 1,200 minutes of lab time. Honors biology is a very difficult course. Students should only take this course if they have taken Regents Earth Science now at Weber and score above 85 on the matrix. While there are exceptions to this, generally speaking, we find that students who do not meet this criteria struggle and eventually drop honors biology. Honors biology is more rigorous and detailed for each of the topics covered in the Regents level class. In addition, the lab activities are more challenging and what is called open-ended inquiry, much of what NGSS is promoting. In addition, extensive writing is required, article summaries, lab reports, and a research paper. Students must take 3 years of science in order to graduate. That is a New York State requirement. To earn a Regents diploma, 1 year of living environment must be taken and the Regents exam must be passed. To earn an advanced Regents diploma, 1 living environment Regents, which they must pass, and 1 physical science Regents, which they must also receive a passing grade. That could be in either earth science, chemistry, or physics. Most students at Schreiber take 4 or even 5 years of science. In addition, we have a science research program. This is a highly competitive program in which only 10 students in the 9th grade are accepted into the program. It is a 3-year commitment which runs from the 10th through the 12th grade. Once again, thank you for being present tonight and the science department. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at the email address in the first screen. Thank you and have a good evening.
Okay, I'm just going to
All right.
stop share.
I think.
Oh. the end of the video.
So now I gotta wait, right?
Yep.
I apologize. Okay. Okay, so that is the end of our presentations from our departments and our electives. At this time, I would direct you to the YouTube page where you could find all of the videos. You'll be able to, after tonight, we'll post all of the elective videos. I know we did have some technical difficulties for some of the presentation, and they'll be available to you on Schreiber_HS, and that's our YouTube channel. And you could also follow us on Instagram. There's a lot of new happenings and current events that come up on our Instagram page, and that is Schreiber_HS as well. If you have any questions, you could feel free to reach out to me via email, kanesis@portnet.org, or you could always call us at the high school, 767-5000. Mr. Lewis, did you have anything to add before we close for the evening?
I did not. We want to thank all of you for participating tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall, but you'll be hearing a bit more when we get into the summer for some other orientation activities prior to school opening. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer them. And remember, any changes in course requests in the next week or 10 days, please ask your 8th grader to go see their guidance counselor and make any adjustments in their course requests so that we can be sure that we have an accurate view of what your incoming student wishes to take. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.